one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. This gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3. Finish.
How the fuck I pay a couple Cardinals and ain't even whipping? How the fuck I'm putting food on the table while I ain't living? Cursed from being alone with these dreams of a happy home. So when I think it's really love, I give them anything they want. I got stupid shit I did as a kid defining me lately. When I try to open up a new chapter, they still hate me. My mental, my only drug, so I'm doing this shit alone. Last time I fought depression and she got me on my zone. One bad move for thuggery, hit record from luxury. Pop said some shit that stuck with me. All it take is a mustard seed. Yesterday I caught $40 of pot those. Homie in
He's stranded on a desert island. He was without ration, he was without water. And Steph could fold his arms and be nasty and say, no, scram. But that's not how he is. Steph got a good heart. He a big-hearted man. Come on. I'll take you back in. That's how Steph is. Steph a good man. He was raised the right way by good parents.
Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Yo, how's everybody doing out there tonight, yo? A more favorable setup for me tonight. I'm very relaxed and chilled out in the area I'm in. But listen, Thursday night football, Arizona at home, taking on the Saints. Far more scoring than we saw on these previous 2 Thursday nights. But a lot of things to get into. Christian McCaffrey traded. Elijah Moore wannabe traded. A lot of things to get into. Yo, how dope was the day? You already know how excuse me. Can't even talk, yo. That was a long silent burp right there. But listen, let's get into the game. So the Arizona Cardinals at home coming into this game, you know, they won the last game, I believe, if I'm not tripping. But I could be tripping. But I don't believe that I am. However, coming into this game, both teams, because I know for a fact the Saints just came into this game on a loss, allowing the Bengals to come back into this game. For some reason, the thing coming into this game for Herbie or Herbert or Herb Street was how Andy Dalton only had 1 interception coming into this game. I don't know why he jinxed that man like that. I don't know why. Because Andy Dalton's 3 interceptions in this game tonight were most definitely the difference. But you know, it would be easy to blame Andy Dalton. And you can. You can blame Andy for those 3 interceptions. One of them wasn't his fault. He had 2 pick sixes in an interception. 2 of them were his fault. His first interception that he threw when they got down to the red zone, a 15-play drive. This man threw an interception in the triple coverage. And this was so confusing because it's like, I don't get bothered too much by interceptions because I understand how hard it is for a quarterback to do their job. I understand defenders get paid too and all these different type of things, lack of talent, different type of things, right? But it's certain type of interceptions that you know you can't have. And this is a type of interception that you just cannot have. 3 black jerseys. The Cardinals wore black jerseys. I like the Cardinals helmets. They had black helmets on tonight to go with the black jerseys. I like that shit. But anyways, if it's one thing I would fix about they black jerseys, is I don't like the white. They should just have black on black. Yo, if the Cardinals had black on black, just straight blacked out, the only red being the Cardinal, the logo, that should be tough. But anyways, like shiny black accents going around the other black, that should be fire. Anyways, 3 black Cardinals jerseys around Kamara. The worst part about this was Kamara was never open on this play. Like, it's one thing to throw it in the triple coverage. It's another thing to throw it in triple coverage when your player has absolute. Because sometimes when you see dudes throw it in the triple coverage, the receiver usually do have a step on the it's not even a step. It just looked like if you put it into this hole, then boom, it could be a big play. This was not one of those. 3 Cardinals were in front of Alvin Kamara. Kamara had no shot at catching the pass that Dalton threw. So I'm confused as to how he threw that pass. That was a Jimmy G type of pass. So that shit was wild. The Cardinals offense really wasn't great tonight, but it was better than it's been to me because DHop makes such a difference. That's why I don't know. This is why I talk how I talk about Baltimore. Because this fucking team go out, sign Deshaun Jackson, a receiver. Listen, and I'm not shitting on Deshaun Jackson. I love Deshaun Jackson. When he was in his prime, he was a great receiver. But this dude, everybody thought retired. And that's who Baltimore go out to get to help Lamar Jackson. I told y'all, bro, this is franchise malpractice in every single sense of the word. You look at all these other teams go out and get players to help their receivers. And their quarterbacks. And I keep saying it. Name me one player not named Mark Andrews who was drafted in the same draft as Lamar that the Baltimore Ravens went out and traded for, signed, or drafted since having Lamar that you can say makes Lamar Jackson better. Not that Lamar Jackson, they better because Lamar Jackson, but you could legitimately say, yo, Lamar Jackson is a better player because he has this dude right here or because of this guy. You can't. And so you look at the 49ers. They go out and make a trade for Christian McCaffrey. The Cardinals make a trade for Robbie Anderson. And Robbie Anderson is a far better receiver than people think. I think what happened, the mistake that Robbie made was after having a breakout year with the Jets, which is tough to do, he ended up going to Carolina, a team that had no quarterback, and that was just in free fall. And I think he went there because he played for Matt Rule in college. If he hadn't made the decision to go to an actual, like Robbie Anderson would be putting up all type of numbers right now if he had a sign with the Chiefs or the Bills. Like, he in a good spot right now. I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray guy because I really don't like the offense that they run. But that's the offense that Kyler liked to run, so it is what it is. But they do take deep shots here and there, and Robbie Anderson is a great receiver at getting up the field. I think Robbie been in Carolina the last 2 years, him being there is why people look at him the way they do. But I love Robbie Anderson. I think he's going to be far better than people think. Him and D-Hop. Bro, just look at this game and look at the difference that D-Hop makes. Having a number one receiver just fixes a lot of problems on an offense. And because you have a D-Hop, you get him healthy. Back acclimated in the football shape. You get Marquise healthy. And Robbie caught up. This is going to be a scary offense if they can protect Kyler and Kyler can get these dudes the ball. Like, that's why I'm so critical of Kyler at times because I'm like, bro, you have talent at the receive. You got Zach Ertz too. Like, you have talent at these receiving positions. This is not a Lamar Jackson situation. This is not a Mac Jones type of situation where they are void of talent and the talent that they have is continuously overhyped aside from Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is him. But, and speaking of Lamar Jackson, next week, Thursday Night Football is the Patriots. Brady at home in Tampa taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And speaking of Tom Brady, boy, we're going to talk about Brady towards the end of the show, bro. I love Tom Brady, bro. Tom Brady legitimately just validated in my mind what I continuously say on here from different points in times when I say I sacrifice like being in love and all those type of different things because I want to be successful. I want to get to where I'm trying to get to, and I do not feel like I can get there if I settle down right now and like try to commit to somebody and do all that type of things that go into, like, I will never be able to give a relationship my all right now because I know what's most important to me is trying to achieve what I'm trying to achieve. Brady, I know everybody done heard the talks about Brady and Giselle divorce and all this type of shit. And Brady said today in an interview, he don't plan on retiring no time soon. And if he was being serious, my man is legitimately married to the game. And why should he have to sacrifice? And I understand the people who gonna side with Giselle and all that. But I continue to say, these dudes have a finite amount of time to play this game. I know some people look at Brady and LeBron and like, oh man, they've been playing for so long. But we expect these guys to live a long life. When they turn 60, 70, 80 years old, you're going to think we're going to still cherish the moments that they gave us. But when you look back, it's going to be like, oh, well, he only played 20 years compared to all the years he was growing up and didn't play in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, you regret. Brady cannot live with the regret. As no great athlete is able to live with that regret of, I retired too early. I could have still been good enough to get my team to a championship. And when you're Tom Brady, the greatest to ever do it, that's different. I said it before. I done said it multiple times when addressing Tom Brady and the retirement. You should not retire unless you know for 1,000%, and it's no such thing. It's only 100%. But you have to know for 1,000, 1,000,000,000, 1,000,000% that you are ready to walk away from the game. And the only way to know that is when you realize, because a great will realize it, that you can no longer be good enough to make a difference in your team. You need to be carried now, rather than on your best days, you are the reason, you are the difference. I'm no longer a difference maker. My skill set is no longer, it's not even a diminished skill set, because Tom Brady can't throw the ball the way he could when he was a younger dude. But that's not the thing, because older you get, his mind, the wisdom is getting better. When it comes to the point where his mind is no longer a weapon for him, then I'm almost certain Brady will walk away from the game. But until that day comes and he is 100% certain, I don't believe he should walk away from the game. And I'm not just saying this because I like watching Brady. I'm not just saying this to be selfish or nothing like that. I just understand how he is thinking. I will have these kids forever. I'll have a lot of years with them beyond now. I'll have a lot of moments with Giselle. Or some other. I hope he marry a black woman. But Brady, to me, seeing him do this today, say that, it just, and listen, maybe some people like, bro, you looking for validation in the wrong things, bro. You should settle down, find love, and you can still be achieving all those different type of goals. I don't see it like that right now. And obviously, Brady was able to achieve goals being married and whatnot. But the man is married to the game. And I promise you, Giselle was more of a partner in this relationship all this time than she truly was a willing. And I'm not saying that to be mean or nothing like that. I'm just saying that's what it feels like now that you realize Brady was married to this game. Like it is. You can't be as great as Tom Brady if you are not 1,000% committed to this game. It is what it is. This block gave me life, so I'm willing to die on it because my greatest highs came from this block right here. So I'm going to die on it. You don't understand it. But everything that has brought me, the pains, the highs, the lows, I can't live without it right now. So if I got to die right here, that's what I'm going to do. And so I get it. I understand Tom Brady. 1,000%. I'm rocking with you, big goat. But let's get back to the game. So, like I was talking about, the first interception, just a goofy interception by Andy Dalton. And, like I said, Kyler Murray, and I talked about how the difference of having a DeAndre Hopkins is such a difference for this team. And if they can get these other guys healthy, it's going to be a difference. I don't really love the Cardinals. I don't really even like the Cardinals defense because this could have been a shootout if not for the fact that Andy Dalton just made some boneheaded play decisions. And not even just Andy Dalton, because like I was saying earlier, I understand you look at Andy Dalton's 3 interceptions, and I'm going to run through them real fast, but it's not just Andy Dalton why they lost the game. He did play a huge part in losing this game. But he wasn't the only reason they lost this game, if you watch this entire game. Because even with Dalton's 3 interceptions, the Saints could have still made this a game and could have still won this game. But we'll get to that. The second interception Andy Dalton throws, and believe it or not, his last 2 interceptions come within the last minute and 50 seconds of the first half. Imagine that. 1 minute left, basically 2 minutes left in the first half. You do not expect to have a team score on you 2 times in that time frame off of pick sixes. But Andy Dalton threw it to Callaway, number 1, across the middle, wide open. He ended up bobbling it, and it bounced right into the defender's hand behind him. Easy pick 6. Even though I don't even know how easy these pick 6 really were, it just feel like nobody on the Saints team wanted to tackle tonight on offense or defense. But immediately following that, the Saints get the ball back. Andy Dalton, for some fucking reason, now this ain't triple coverage, but it looked almost like it was about to be triple coverage. But the second guy was off playing a receiver to the right. But Andy Dalton make another ill-advised throw. So for one, if he even get this throw to where it's supposed to go, it still could be an interception because the safety can just jump this pass. And from what I was seeing, that's a pick either way. However, it is a chance that if he's a great quarterback, make a great throw, you could fit that thing in there. I just find it hard to believe that Buddha don't jump that route and pick that off. But a linebacker is standing right there in front of this plate, ready to jump it, reading Andy Dalton the entire time. I think it was Simmons who made the play, who was basically a safety linebacker type of player. And he returned it for a touchdown. So now it's like, bro, you not only do you throw the interception, but you let them score on a pick six. You just let them score on a pick six. You would imagine that you would have some type of urgency, like we can't give them 2 pick sixes in a row because if we play defense, then we can hold them to 6 points in both of these possessions, meaning just a 3 and a 3. Didn't do it on the first one, so let's stop them. Don't do that either. So you immediately give up 2 touchdowns on a pick six. You get the ball back again with 40 seconds left, and Dennis Allen said, you know what? Not giving your ass a chance to do that again. You're going out like Matt Schaub, my boy. And so they kneel it out and get to the half. The Cardinals get the ball to start the third quarter. So just the absolute clusterfuck right there for the Saints to end the first half. But then to come into the second half, the Saints get like 3 and outs to start the quarter. But the Saints offense, they get into the red zone. They can't score. Field goals ain't getting you back in this game, buddy. And then towards the fourth quarter of this game, the worst fourth quarter defense in the NFL this year has been the Baltimore Ravens. The Saints tried to take that crown tonight from the lack of tackling. No, number 30 had to try to defend Hopkins one-on-one all night, and that shit just never worked out for him. The fourth quarter was just an absolute clusterfuck for the Saints. I don't know what the fuck was going on with the defense, but you had a chance that if you got the stops and the listen, I'm not blaming the Saints defense, but what I'm saying is when you get bad play from your quarterback and it's turnovers and the defense really don't, because I'm not one of them people who say like, oh man, what more could the defense do? You know, the quarterback already turned the ball. Motherfucker, you still get paid to play to the time run out in this game. And by the math, and the clock, we still have a chance to come back in this game. I don't give a damn about how bad we played earlier. If we play great right now, we still have a chance. And the Saints have a good enough defense to where they still had a chance. They was moving the ball to where they still had a chance. To me, tonight, the Saints defense towards the end of this game just gave them no chance. I'm not saying that the Saints defense quit at the end of this game, but it felt like the Saints defense quit at the end of this game. And it looked bad. Like, you forget how to when a defense just randomly forget how to tackle and you start seeing dudes just start running through them, that's one of the most embarrassing, worst feelings you can have as an NFL fan watching that shit, especially if you're a fan of the team. Like, watching that shit just like it's a Pro Bowl randomly out there or something. So, to me, yeah, Andy Dalton played atrocious in the first half, but the defense for the Saints really just had nothing left to do. Like, it was a bad fourth quarter display. Like, they're not going to be happy with the tape. They could go and blame Andy Dalton for this loss and give him the majority of the pie for this L, but they're not going to be satisfied and happy with what they see on tape when they look at how they played in the fourth quarter. Like, just the missed tackles left and right. Like, that shit was crazy. But moving on to the San Francisco 49ers. Actually, where do both teams go from here? Listen, I told you, I don't really know where Arizona go from. I know the next 2 games for the Saints is Vegas and then Baltimore. So they could lose both of those games coming up. And I couldn't remember the next 2 games for Arizona. But like I said, if Arizona can get all these receivers healthy, this could be a dangerous team still and a very dynamic team. For the Saints, I really don't know, man. They getting that quarterback play just not good enough on the Saints right now. And Alvin Kamara looked good. The run game looked decent while they was able to run the ball. Obviously, you can't do too much running when you get down that far. The Saints receivers, good Lord have mercy. Not Michael Thomas, but all these other dudes, man. For a second, I felt like number 1, Callaway was point shaving. But, man, the fact that these dudes can't hold on to no damn football after taking contact after catching it, man, that's ridiculous, bro. Like, I swear, it was like 4 or 5 different fucking plays tonight where they catch the ball and then they just drop it after getting hit. Like, it was probably more than that to keep it a buck with you. But, Yeah, the Saints gonna have to work on that. That was some soft shit out there I was seeing from you fellas. But then quickly addressing the 49ers making a trade for Christian McCaffrey. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first saw that drop, because I guess the end of the game got too boring, so they was like, all right, let's go ahead and drop this bombshell. They was like Christian McCaffrey was traded for, I think, a second, third, fourth, and fifth round pick to the Carolina Panthers, who I actually do believe Carolina will use those draft picks wisely on defense. To me, Carolina don't really draft offensive players that well unless they got a clear player they can get at the top of the draft. But aside from that, you tank the rest of your season away. You already got rid of Robbie Anderson. I do think you need to go ahead and trade away DJ Moore. I know Baltimore is not going to go get him because they're a bunch of bums. But, hey, you possibly could swing and get – I knew they wasn't getting a first-round pick for Christian McCaffrey. It was no shot. But you could get a first-round pick possibly from DJ Moore. I don't think they're going to get a first-round pick for DJ Moore unless a team go out there and give him like a 30th or a very late round. A team that know they're not going to have a high draft pick. I could imagine going out, a championship contending team. Aside from that, it's hard for me to believe a team going to give up a first-round pick to get DJ Moore. The Ravens are a team that should be willing to give up their first-round pick for DJ Moore, but they're not going to do it. So, but Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion, if he can stay healthy, because the first thought that I had when I saw that news, I was like, oh, this is the favorite to get out of the NFC. But then I quickly said, but that's not what I want. I want Brady to figure out a way to beat them motherfuckers so he can lose to Lamar in the Super Bowl. So I immediately went away from that. But my unbiased opinion is, yeah, this is definitely a Super Bowl contending team now. I'm probably looking like my favorites, like the favorites in the NFC, because if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, bro, this is a entirely what I thought I was going to see from Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton. Christian's first year, he wasn't the Christian he is now. And then Cam was hurt after that, and Christian was hurt after that also. This is what you're going to see. Now, obviously, to me, Jimmy G is not Cam, but because he is with Kyle Shanahan having a Christian McCaffrey, a fucking fullback, and Kyle Juszczyk, who he can use in so many different ways, Deebo Samuels, like, yo, this team is going to get back to the Super Bowl if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy. The only person that's stopping him is Tom Brady. That's it. Because I don't see a team right now in the NFC. Oh, Philadelphia, I think, could figure out a way. My only thing with Philly is I actually do think Philly could actually knock this team off. The thing is, though, the 49ers are going to be able to score in so many different ways that you didn't even think was possible, bro. Now that they got a player like Christian McCaffrey. Because Christian McCaffrey is a legitimate running back. Like, that's why I love Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. So, you know how I talk about Austin Eckler is I think he is a great player, but he ain't no number one running back because he is not a legitimate, give him the ball 20-something times a game and he can actually be a legit running back for you that make a difference. He is a guy who you want to get a ball to maybe 10 times a game and throw it to him like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a game. That's his thing. Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara are the same ways, except for they are actually number one running backs also. You can give those two dudes the ball, and they are actually going to make a difference in the run game. You can give them the ball 20 times a game and know that they're going to make a difference. You can also throw it to them multiple times a game, and I think both of them are more dynamic and better when you do that. Throw it to them than Austin Eckler. So giving Christian McCaffrey, and mind you, I think Austin Eckler could hit new heights if he was with somebody like Kyle Shanahan, but he ain't. Christian McCaffrey is going to, if Christian can stay healthy, yeah, Christian's going to have an insane type of finish to this year with because he already was looking good to start the year anyways. If I'm a Carolina Panther fan, to see how Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey exited this organization, compounded with Luke Kuechly having to retire early because of concussion problems, man. It'll really be hard, boy. It'll really be hard for me to be pleasant with that. But I'll probably understand how y'all feeling in a couple years, seeing as how Baltimore is probably going to end up having to trade Lamar Jackson before too long, because this is a franchise that it's doing everything it possibly can to not help Lamar Jackson. It's absolutely insane at this point. had to get that burp out again, yo. The shit was crazy. The shit was just stuck right there. I had to, you know what I'm saying? I had to go ahead and belt that right on up out of here. But with that, I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint, the Thursday night football recap. Listen, it was a good game. Way more scoring than this one. I do think it's still things there. I saw somebody tweet during the game. They was like, yo, Cliff Kingsbury is to the passing game what Greg Roman is to the run game. As far as like he's supposed to be great at him. I don't know what it meant. I didn't even say it right, but it made sense to tweet. I'm just so high out my mind. It's, you know what I'm saying? But listen, bro, I'm still very, very, I'm still here. I just can't remember what the tweet said at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to me say, oh, I'm high out my mind and be like, oh, man, we can't work with a dude like this, man. He not there. Excuse me. I promise you. I'm all there, baby. But with that being said, good Thursday night football game. I enjoyed it. I come to the realization as long as I got a Pepsi and a blunt, I'm probably going to enjoy most of these Thursday night games. Most of these football games I'm going to enjoy regardless if it ain't Baltimore playing like bullshit. Because I have no strings attached to any of these other teams legitimately. So, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed Thursday Night Football. If you are a fan of the Saints, not a good night for you. Not a good. I also don't understand how the fuck these refs cannot see things in the field that's so very obvious for me to see at home. Like, I can see things happen at home, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that easily is a call right there. And then these bozo refs see it, and they're just like, oh, no, that didn't happen. And I'm just like, yo, it was a point in this game where they went for a 2-point conversion to Cardinals. And the running back fumbled the fucking ball before he got into the end zone. You could see that so very clearly. I could see it very clearly. The refs didn't see it on the first initial play. They go to replay, and they still say it was a touchdown. And then you get this other fucking ref who come on the fucking teleprompter or whatever talking about it's not clear and obvious. So what are you talking about? I can clearly and obviously see that is a fumble. Shit's amazing. But with that being said, I fuck with you. I love you. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Give my Dukes a kiss on the head for me. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.